What's up, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Money. Do you ever wonder why it is so hard for people to move up financially, to go from low income or poverty to middle class, and for middle class to move up into high income, wealthy, whatever you want to call it? It seems like there is a lot of people that are stuck in whatever class that they are in right now, and that seems to be the way that it goes for generation after generation. And I'm going to give you a minute to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and we're going to get into why I think that this is the case. So I think it starts off with people's financial education. If you don't take a major like economics or accounting or something like that when you are in college, in graduate school or something like that, you very rarely talk about money or personal finance or anything in any type of school. It's rarely discussed in school, and it's crazy because money and how much you make and compound interest, interest rates on loans and debt and such are such a gigantic part of people's lives after they get out of school, and it's glossed over and usually not touched on whatsoever. A lot of the classes that people would take in my high school, such as business math or home economics, were quite frankly, they were the classes that the underachievers went to because they didn't want to take the higher end math classes like your AP physics and calculus and geometry and stuff, the classic go to college classes that were pushed by most high schools, and especially the high schools that like to brag about how 99 or 100% of their kids go to college. And those classes like business math or home economics would be great classes for you to learn how to balance a budget, to learn about interest rates, especially if you're about ready to take on massive loans to go to a university for a job that they really didn't discuss at all what it was going to make after you were done. They just, were like, just follow your passion, and you have to go to college or else you're going to be broke. And so a lot of these kids went out and like myself, took these AP physics and AP calculus classes and advanced geometry classes. And I tell you what would have helped out more if I would have known a little bit more on how to do my taxes, for tax season than I've needed for learning about parallelograms during parallelogram season. So I'm sure that those other classes helped out a very specific set of people that maybe went on to be engineers or physicists or something like that, like the 1% of high school students. But for the most part, I think that some sort of personal finance and financial education class would have been much more beneficial than all of these AP go to college classes. Also, a lot of these folks come from families that have about the same financial education. They went to school and they weren't taught much about personal finance. They weren't taught about how to start a business, how to invest in real estate, be a landlord, how to invest in the stock market or any other type of investment that might be able to move them up the financial ladder, so to speak. What gets passed on is just the information that they know, and that's not really any fault of their own, but the low income families end up passing on low income information that keeps that cycle of low income going on into the future. The same thing with the middle class. The middle class have a middle class financial education. They have middle class financial ideas. And, this is where I am. This is, I'm deliciously middle class. And for the most part, for a lot of my life, I had middle class ideas. I need to get, cars. I need to spend money. I need to watch football. I need to drink beers. Stocks were too risky. Investing in real estate is too risky. You wouldn't even believe the amount of people that I knew or know when I was looking to invest in real estate that are all middle class folks that just told me that I would just lose my money. It would be a total pain in the butt investing in real estate, with tenants calling at all hours of the night with their clogged toilets and locked out of their apartments. And I wouldn't, they destroy the units. I wouldn't make any money. And it's just been completely not true. And it's just the same amount of information and the same ideas just being passed from generation to generation that keeps people just where they are. And it is the same with the upper income, the wealthy folks. They tend to pass on information to their children, to their grandchildren about how to do business, how to grow your wealth, how to grow your money, how to not trade your time for money for your entire life, how to get out of that cycle of, trading 1 hour for $15 or $30 or whatever. Trade your time for results. And that's what keeps those folks rich. So there seems to be very little movement between income levels unless somebody goes out of their way, takes the time to learn about personal finance, to learn how to use their money and their time as wisely as possible to grow their wealth. And even if they still do work an hourly or salary job, be able to save money so that they can retire and maybe elevate themselves into the next income level, if that's something that they desire to do. Not that there's anything wrong with any of these income levels, but I hear it all the time that people, you can't get ahead in the US anymore. And it's simply not true. You just have to go out and learn the techniques that you need to get ahead with financial education. If you can change your financial education, you can change your entire outlook on life. You can change your entire life because you will have the knowledge, the skills, and ability to move up these income levels. Another reason that it's so hard to get ahead financially and maybe move up an income level is that you are under a constant pressure to consume. There's ads everywhere for you to buy stuff. There may even have been an ad at the start of this video, somewhere in the middle, maybe at the end, and they're constantly telling you that the things that you have now, even if you just bought it, 6 months from now they're going to say, oh, it's not good enough. We got this brand new thing, and if you don't have it, you're nobody. And what are you, a girl or something? There's constant pressure for you to upgrade to the next thing, and it's big time in vehicles, phones, TVs, electronics in general just move at such a quick pace, and they add features, but a lot of times they're not adding any substantial value. It's like when smartphones first came out. There were leaps and bounds in the first 4 or 5 years of smartphones. Be it they made them thinner, lighter, the batteries last longer, the cameras were better, more storage, could do more items. But at this point in 2021, phones are pretty solid, and all I've seen recently as far as upgrades is like the cameras that they're putting on them are much better, but they're like better, but the old ones were also very, very good. And then I'll add in things like, well, we put in a new fingerprint unlocking scanner, and I'm like, who cares? I've been able to swipe on the screen just fine, but there is pressure for you to purchase the next iPhone, the next Android phone. There's pressure on you to purchase the next TV. Your 60-inch HD TV is no good anymore. How are you going to watch the Super Bowl on that? I mean, how is that even going to be possible? What you need is a 70-inch 4K curved OLED screen, or no one's going to like you. No one's going to come to your Super Bowl party and eat your chicken wings, right? Same with vehicles. They have essentially will release the same vehicle over and over again with just some like minor changes, and they might just change like the body style, but the vehicle is essentially going to do the same thing. So that constant consumptive pressure for everyone, it adds, and then use your most popular mediums for getting entertainment. So that's your TV, it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on TikTok. So you're always getting these ads that are saying, here's the new thing, and the thing that you have now is just, it's not good anymore, and you're not going to be the most popular kid in the room with the iPhone 10,000. That kind of consumptive pressure, it keeps people spending their money, not saving it and investing it, and not able to move up these income levels because you're constantly trading your time for the money to purchase that next hot item. Lastly, people just don't have a ton of discipline. And this is evident. We have an obesity crisis in the United States. We have people, you can look online all the time and just search like, how can people afford a $1,000 emergency? And like 60% or 50%, there's always a large percentage of the population would not have the amount of money to cover a $1,000 or $500 emergency without turning to credit cards or some other sort of like personal loan or something with a really high interest rate. So people don't have the discipline to save and invest their money. They can't do that without becoming distracted. And then also they don't have the discipline to not keep up with the Joneses. For example, if the Joneses go get a new car down the street, now they're looking at their own vehicle and saying, well, man, we should be able to afford a new car, because if they can afford a new car, they may not be able to afford that new car. They might have it on, 84 months of financing and barely be able to put gas in the tank. People end up spending all of their money and more. You can just tell this because people are dead broke and they're in, $10, $40, $50,000 of credit card debt. And then they run up against that wall where they can no longer spend anymore. These are just some examples of the lack of financial discipline, which probably goes back to the financial education and not having any real knowledge base for people to make good financial decisions with the money that they have. Now, all this can be changed, obviously, and I don't expect people to change the education system in the United States. It's too big. That's a federal level thing, and it moves too slow. I don't expect ads to go away. As a matter of fact, I just only expect them to increase. As a matter of fact, I'm hoping for ads on this channel so that I can monetize this channel for an additional stream of income. I don't necessarily expect the vast majority of people to drastically increase their level of discipline. But individuals like you can learn about financial education. And really, like, YouTube here is one of the best resources for that. There are tons of financial education and how to invest in real estate, how to invest in stocks, how to start your own business that you're probably just not going to get from a traditional educational institution. And if you would go take college courses, it would cost you hundreds of dollars an hour for what you can get right here on YouTube and the internet for free. So guys, I hope that this video gave you some value. I hope that you go out and seek that financial education that you may not have gotten in school or from your family or whatever, that can help you get to wherever you set your goals. If you guys like this video, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. That really helps out this video in the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to subscribe if you're not a subscriber, to grow your wealth, increase your success, put you on the road to financial freedom. I appreciate you guys watching today, and I will see you on the next one.